it's Jana and I'm back today with yet another video. And I'm so excited for today's video because we're gonna be taking a look at another set of very creepy videos from all over the internet. And I'm not kidding when I tell you guys some of these videos are so terrifying. So if you guys are excited for this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
It's late at night when a group of friends hear a woman screaming for help and decide to investigate inside the house. They enter and look around trying to figure out where the woman is. Soon the cameraman realizes their female friend is no longer with them, and as they head upstairs they see her getting dragged into a room. They try to go back downstairs, but there's someone blocking their path who appears to be possessed. With the group trapped inside the house, they are eventually each picked off by whatever was in that house. According to the footage, the group was never seen again. And though their reactions seem quite realistic, I've been unable to find more information on the incident, so therefore I cannot decide whether this is real or a skit.
We are definitely starting off with a bang. So apparently they heard a woman scream and then they proceeded to go into the house and get picked off one by whatever thing or entity was in the house. We don't really get a whole lot of context behind this video, so I don't really even know what to say other than the fact that that girl crawling up the stairs was so terrifying. If this is a skit though, A+ for creativity.
Two safari hunters kneel over the remains of a wild lion, each too busy posing to notice another member of the pride has been following them this whole time.
That's it. Ah, God, pump up. That's it.
Are you gonna work on this?
Oh, come on. Right, let me...
As they fiddle with the camera equipment, the silent surviving lion sizes them up without a sound. It waits until they are too close to run and then pounces. Their tour guide lays on his horn to warn them, but it's far too late.
Okay, good stuff.
I'm not sure if this video is real because the lion doesn't make a sound even after it's been spotted.
That is one extremely stealthy lion. I'm sure lions are very good at hunting, but just the way that he lunged at them and did not make a single sound, like it just is giving fake. I don't know, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments.
If this is a real video, then it's more like their final moments rather than a close call.
Oh yeah, one thing is for sure is you are not surviving that lion attack. That beast is ripping you to shreds. So if it is real, I think it's safe to say these people are no longer. Can you even imagine trying to take a lion on in a fight? I mean, at that point, I'm just giving up.
Here's a strange dashcam video from Malaysia that will leave you scratching your head. These motorists are on a dark road when they pass by a woman in a pink shirt once, and then again, a little farther up the road, and a third time, at which point they are noticeably alarmed and speed away.
Wait, you're telling me that they saw the same exact woman 3 times on the same road? That is definitely a little bizarre and kind of terrifying considering it looks like it's the middle of the night. Like, babe, what are you doing out in the middle of the road?
Watch the full video and you'll see that they are not driving in a circle. Even if they were driving in a circle, there's no way they could have completed a full lap in the short time it takes for the woman to appear again. Perhaps what's most unsettling about this is how each time the woman's back is turned to them, never once seeing her face.
This is definitely giving me Serbian dancing lady energy, especially because of the way that she's dressed and the way that she's just standing around refusing to look at them. Something is definitely up with that lady. All I know is I would not be approaching her in the same way that they did. Like, what if she's absolutely insane and just attacks me? I am not taking that risk.
This leaked video was reportedly taken by 2 friends somewhere in the United States. Their dog Jake starts to bark with excitement and really doesn't seem to want to go any further. Watch how the animal crosses directly in front of their snowmobile multiple times, almost like he's warning them to stop and turn around.
One thing about animals is they can definitely sense things, and that dog is very clearly telling its owner to stop, probably because they can sense that something is up ahead.
The 2 friends don't really think much of it and keep going straight, and that's when they come face to face with it.
Holy!
A nearby tall gray creature sends them racing away. The alien-like creature doesn't make much of a sound at all, or at least not one that the camera can pick up. But I do think I can see its head turn towards them at the 2 minute and 20 second mark. The way the dog is acting before this happens also makes me believe this leaked video could be real. The dog doesn't act aggressively at all. So either the animal is intimidated or this thing is not actually a threat.
So they ended up running into this Slender Man alien type of figure. It's this like super tall, lanky, gray creature. I mean, it is definitely giving alien. However, the creature didn't really move whatsoever, at least from what I saw. So like, who's to say it's not like a statue or a Halloween decoration? Definitely let me know what you guys think. Is this an alien or something else?
This reportedly leaked video appears to be taken in a desert somewhere on the outskirts of civilization. Two scientists in full biohazard gear examine a colossal footprint that's been left behind by what appears to be some type of giant creature. I think this video is likely not real because there appears to only be one footprint and no others nearby. If there was a series of footprints stretching beyond the horizon, I would be more inclined to believe it's real. Otherwise, they could have easily dug a hole in the shape of a monstrous footprint.
Right off the bat, that is so insanely fake. I have no words. Number one, like they said, there's literally just one footprint. If there was an actual creature stomping around, you would see many more footprints. Not to mention that footprint is ginormous. So you're telling me there's this huge creature just walking around on this very clearly populated beach and absolutely no one saw it? I don't know. In my opinion, there's just absolutely no way this is real.
This live dashcam video was taken somewhere in Russia. It looks like a normal drive when suddenly an enraged creature changes all of that. So the road splitting open doesn't look like CGI to me, which means it's either real or part of a movie set. This next part, however, looks like it could be CGI. The audio kind of sounds like royalty-free stock sound effects, especially the screaming. I noticed that two people to the side of the road on the left don't seem to run away, but maybe they are just stunned and watching.
I do think that the part of the clip that's real is the road splitting open. I don't really know what could have caused that. It might have been like a pipe that burst or some sort of earth. Like, I don't know what caused it. But then clearly someone else went in and edited in this creature flying out of the hole. And it kind of looks like Mothman or something along those lines. Definitely very scary looking, but again, I just do not think that actually happened. Because let me tell you, babe, if something like that happened, you would be seeing it all over the news. It is just way too insane.
A YouTuber named Yankee Reb travels to the haunted battlefield of Gettysburg, Virginia, and stands before an old battle cannon. He grows very still and records nothing but darkness for a full 20 minutes before any paranormal activity occurs. As the night progresses, a lone soldier silently marches around the cannon and stops just outside of the muzzle, which is where you would stand to reload it.
Holy down by the cannon, you see that?
Oh, what is that?
I say it could be a soldier because, aside from the historic location, I can also kind of make out the old style sash and hat that some soldiers used to wear.
No way. What is that?
I have no idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
It definitely took me a while to realize what they were talking about, but there very clearly looks to be someone walking around the cannon. And they actually do look like they're dressed in some sort of uniform.
His attire is most visible at around the 1 minute and 58 second mark, so that's when you can get the clearest and most direct look for yourself. Let me know if you can see what he has on.
Did you, honestly?
I wouldn't believe it unless we recorded it.
Maybe this soldier in particular was accidentally taken out by his own cannon while reloading, which used to happen quite often back those times.
Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing. That sounds horrible. It's definitely an interesting clip because the figure itself is very faint, but it's also noticeable enough for you to get very concerned and be like, okay, something is definitely going on there.
Jason Nilsson and his friend are walking along a path of frozen ice in Utah when they come across some kind of creature colony the likes of which they have never seen before. They appear to have a squishy, loose form, yet they show little reaction when touched.
Okay, touch it.
Oh, did you see it?
Slimy?
Yeah.
You need a stick or something. Gross. Gross.
I have never seen something like this in my entire life. Someone please let me know in the comments, is this some sort of creature? Like, what is going on here? And why are they saying it's slimy? I am very confused.
The giant circular patch of ice has hundreds of strangely shaped egg-like objects melting deep into the ice, but I can't tell if these are actual eggs or maybe even some kind of larva. Whatever it is, the tiny creatures are neatly lined up in creepy, nearly symmetrical rows and not moving. Maybe they are either frozen or worse, still waiting to hatch. Nobody in the comments section has been able to properly identify what these things are, which makes me even more curious. I wonder if this really could be some sort of hatchery site for a rare species we have never seen before.
So it's a bunch of slimy little creatures frozen together in a circle. And apparently no one's been able to identify them. So again, I am just at a loss for words. Could this potentially be like an undiscovered species? Or is this another example of alien activity?
No one knows what these strange gel clumps are made of, but it does have a name, star jelly. Star jelly has been collected from all around the world from Europe to North America, and scientists have been trying to explain what it is for a long time. Originally, they thought it was frog eggs that had absorbed moisture or some other kind of strange fungus. When a DNA test came back as neither plant or animal, they knew they had something truly unique. Now they think this might be some kind of unique space material that makes up plants and meteors, but there's just not enough evidence to know for sure. Worst of all, we don't know what kind of long-term health effects this substance carries, if any. In the meantime, more and more people are spotting star jelly in common places like their front yards, and nobody understands what any of it means.
That's actually pretty wild that they tested this thing and it came back to be neither a plant or an animal. Scientists are saying it's some sort of space material and it's just randomly popping up in people's yards. Can you even imagine walking out into your backyard and finding a bunch of slime?
A YouTuber named Victor Poulin suspects that something is wrong with this plane, and I need your help to come to a reasonable conclusion. The plane looks completely normal until approximately 1 minute and 50 seconds into the video, when a bright red tint forms along the edges seen here. The changing color could be from the way the sun hits the aircraft, but that still doesn't explain how the plane seems to break up into multiple parts. Then again, maybe it's just his unsteady camera.
Now see how it almost looks like it changed shape? There's lights all in different places.
Victor Poulin is convinced that the plane is some kind of holograph, but I think it's pretty unlikely because I've never heard of anything like that before.
To me, it doesn't really look like the airplane is breaking apart or changing shape. I really do think what might have happened is it finally got hit by a ray of sunshine as it was flying, and then he ended up catching it on camera and it ended up looking like it kind of shifted or changed. But to be fair, he is filming from a really large distance and zooming in quite a lot, so the quality is pretty horrendous to say the least. So it is pretty hard to tell, but I would guess that this is just your average airplane. Nothing really to be concerned about.
Paranormal investigators, specialists, and other field researchers have been trying to explain the Hestalian lights in Norway for decades. These mysterious lights have been observed by residents since the early 80s. Those sightings have decreased in recent years. These lights still randomly appear from time to time and have attracted many followers. As you can see here, they look like small balls of light in broad daylight with no discernible source. Scientists think that this could be from sulfuric gas bubbles mixing with humid air, though they have not been able to prove this. Other researchers believe this could be a UFO hotspot or even a portal to another world.
Okay, even though this is most likely just a natural phenomenon, if I saw this with my own two eyes, I would 100% think I am seeing something supernatural. It looks absolutely insane to just see a burst of light in the middle of the sky. However, it seems like scientists are saying it's the sulfuric acid in the air or something like that. So it's not really magical, but it still looks really freaking cool.
This video was taken just outside of the notoriously haunted Dover Castle in England. A large dark form slowly walks across an entranceway and soon attracts the attention of a security guard patrolling nearby. The guard walks over to investigate, and the shadow silently passes beneath his feet without detection.
Okay, this is so wild because there is very clearly a dark figure in the frame. That looks to be a really, really dark spirit.
Normally, I'd say this could have been some sort of technical malfunction with the CCTV equipment itself, but watching the security guard walk to the exact same spot makes me think otherwise.
I guess things like this can always be edited, but I really did find this one very interesting, especially because the dark figure changed shape and size and literally even passed right under the security guard. I mean, that's pretty crazy if you ask me. If I was that security guard though, I would definitely quit my job.
A YouTuber named Shanen Sarmi is excited to travel to California, but far less enthusiastic about her flight, specifically her window, which is not sitting in place and makes this unsettling noise.
Going through the window and I didn't tell anyone.
By the time she lands, the first of the 2 layers of glass has slid down enough to poke her finger through. It looks like she is sticking her hand out of the plane, but she actually isn't. There is one more layer of glass that is hard to see, but still, the thickness of the window is now halved. She notices something was wrong with her window during the flight, but did not tell anyone until the very end, not wanting to cause a panic. I see where she is coming from, and she might have just been too shy and scared to speak up, but I personally think she should have said something because they might have needed to make an emergency landing to fix it. She was trying to keep everyone calm by not telling, but looking at the condition of the window, I think it could have put everyone's lives in danger, but above all else, I'm just glad that she and everyone else was okay.
I literally cannot believe that she did not say anything about that. It's actually so insane. How was she not insanely concerned and did not say anything until she landed? I mean, at that point, you might as well not even say anything because you're already on the ground. Not this girl literally risking everyone's life on the plane because she was too shy. Because like, I'm scared of flying and I can't even imagine like being on a plane and someone else noticing something like that and just not saying anything. Like, what?
This final video is about as close as it gets. First, a piece of manufacturing equipment malfunctions and causes a pileup of white-hot steel material. The pressure around the blockage continues to build until coils of unformatted steel shoot across the factory floor. The first worker sees the carnage and runs in a zigzag pattern to escape. The second worker, a supervisor from the looks of his clean white shirt, has his back turned and doesn't notice anything until it's too late to react. A rope of liquid steel stops short at his feet and piles all around him. He escapes only to have the machinery behind him burst apart and send more rivets of steel his way. The equipment is shut off, and more of the substance falls to the exact spot where he was just standing.
So much props to people who work in these environments because that is such a dangerous thing to happen. You literally always have to be at the top of your game, paying attention, using all the equipment correctly because things like this can happen and it can be so terrifying. Steel literally started flying everywhere all around them and they were literally just trying to run and avoid getting hit by it. That must be so scary to experience, not to mention everything is happening so fast and you're probably panicking on top of everything. I really hope everyone made it out of there safe.
This video was taken from a waiting station at the Islamabad International Airport in Pakistan. Any strings attached to this chair would be easy to see on the bright and reflective cement floor, but I don't see any, and the chair slides across the room without anyone in sight. It looks like it might be getting pulled by someone off camera here at the 33-second mark, but then it does a 360 all of its own somehow. So that theory is pretty much debunked. There's also no way for magnets to work from beneath a solid concrete floor, so I have no idea how this was done.
I was literally gonna say, what if someone's just pulling it off camera with a string? But then the chair spun all the way around itself, so that makes absolutely no sense. I have seen so many clips of ghosts moving chairs. That's like a ghost's favorite hobby, and they love slamming doors. That's one thing ghosts love to do. If there's a door, they're gonna slam it closed.
This New Orleans restaurant called Tableau's is thought to be haunted by a ghost who will punish you for what it perceives as any bad beverage selections. Here a waiter is preparing the room for a private party and has finished stocking the refreshments when coincidentally, the bottles all fly off the shelf and land in the exact area he had just finished sweeping. 3 separate comments in this video further verify that this restaurant is quite haunted. One person said the window in this very same room unlatched itself, another said the fire alarm went off on its own, and a third person said they are never going there again because the spirit was staring at them. These comments, combined with this video evidence, is enough to build a strong case for the paranormal in my opinion.
I can't even imagine being the person that cleaned up that entire room only to have a ghost drop a bunch of wine on the floor and have it spill everywhere. The ghosts really gave that guy a whole lot more work to do. And it does seem like it's a pretty common occurrence in this restaurant because people have said that they've seen spirits stare at them. I mean, it's creepy when anyone is staring at you, let alone a ghost. Nuh-uh, no thank you.
A YouTube channel called Exploring with Eric waits until 3 a.m. to communicate with the other side at a cemetery in Japan. He sets up the spirit box and waits to be contacted. They soon sense the presence of a lonely ghost and a single word comes across their equipment. Apparently the spirit understands its surrounding and knows exactly where it is.
Japan.
It's the Japan.
It's Japan.
The spirit box continues to chirp out static until the waves clear and this phrase comes out. What they're jealous of, I'm guessing, is the fact that Eric is still alive. They probably should leave by now, but curiosity compels them to stay put until the camera goes out of focus, almost like somebody is very near, maybe even in front of them. And I'm not sure, but I think I hear the name Eric spoken in a thick Japanese accent. More spirits seem to find Eric, and by the end of the video, an invisible congregation has formed all around him, and he finds himself is surrounded by hushed threats and whispers of regret. I think this voice is real, because the spirit box only gets a little bit of activity at first, and finishes with a chorus of voices.
A cemetery is bound to be full of paranormal activity, especially at 3 a.m. And of course, a lot of spirits came through and tried to communicate with them. However, it definitely is very eerie how they said the YouTuber's name specifically, because that means the ghosts are getting personal, and one thing you don't want is one of those spirits following you home. Definitely let me know in the comments, would you guys go to a cemetery at 3 a.m.?
From the adventures of Zach and B is sure that a wild animal is in his attic. It's dark up there, so he takes the camera with him for light. The noise coming from his attic is unlike anything I've ever heard before. It sounds like a baleful combination of scratching, growling, and howling. Zach doesn't bother going any deeper, and I really can't blame him. Unfortunately for him, it sounds like something follows him on the way out.
Well, I don't see anything, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Okay, that voice was so scary. How did he not hear that voice? Because that was really clear. I do not like this one.
An unseen voice says don't, and I think it also says get out of here too. Obviously, this is a real human voice and not an animal after all, and whoever was making that noise remains a mystery.
I mean, obviously it's not an animal if it's freaking talking. I really hope when this guy reviewed the footage and heard that he called the police, because either his house is extremely haunted or there's someone living in his attic. And honestly, with the crazy things we've seen so far, I would not be surprised whatsoever.
A live broadcast in Detroit, Michigan captures a bouncing creature in the forest background.
Hey Glenda, good afternoon to you. Yeah, this guy had no respect for the judge, obviously, and prosecutors say no respect.
I thought that it might be some kind of fox hopping through the grass, but this humanoid creature almost looks like it's running back into the forest, away from sight. Let me know what kind of animal you think this could be, especially if you live in Detroit, and tell me if this is what it looks like when a fox is traveling through tall grass, because that's my best guess.
That is 100% some sort of fox or coyote or something along those lines. Because even the way that it was like bouncing through the grass, it just looked like a fox. You could even see that it had little cute pointy ears. So for once, it's nothing scary. It's just an animal. Honestly though, if it's a coyote, it's kind of scary because those things will attack you. They're terrifying.
This aerial video was allegedly taken 70 years ago. If this is to be believed, then what you are watching is an early chemtrail experiment from the 1930s era. As you can see, a strange chemical mixture quickly forms into a dense cloud wall that hovers over the ocean. This video definitely looks like it could be real. It does not have sound, which makes sense since cameras couldn't record sound from back then. Also, the old black spots and white lines in the film really do appear at random and don't seem to be a looping filter.
These are so difficult because you genuinely just don't know if it's real or not. I mean, the video looks insanely old. There's not even sound on it. That wall of smoke looks really scary, especially when you think about like what chemicals could be in there. And I honestly wouldn't really be surprised if it is real, if they were doing some sort of testing in the middle of the ocean back then.
This home security video shows two bright orbs hovering over some bikes in Carolina Beecher's front yard. She watches in silent amazement as the lights remain fixed in place, close to where you would grab the handlebars. The only explanation I have besides spirits is perhaps a dual reflection of the car's brake lights. That still doesn't explain how they float all around though, while the car lights remain stationary. At times the lights even seem to join together and become one.
There's absolutely no way that those were the car lights because they looked like they were completely different orbs. And like he said, they would dance around and then sometimes they would merge into one. I don't know, I'm not a professional, but that definitely looked really scary and did not look anything like car lights. I don't know, I feel like I'd be able to tell the difference. Anyway guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Definitely comment down below which video freaked you out the most. I do have to say that voice that came through in the attic was really creepy. And also that video of the random lady in the middle of the road. Like, what the hell was that about? I really hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I love you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye.